You're listening to Productivity Monsters in the Morning. We are the energy vault your real estate business needs to get you up and out and excited and productive for the day. We go over trending topics and things that really matter in the market of the moment. Here are your hosts, Tiffany Hampton and Brooke Silva.
Good morning, my friend.
Good morning. Welcome back. When we're not on, I miss it so much because it's amazing how much I need that amount of Tiffany in the morning.
Is that really? There's only so much Tiffany that any one person needs in their life. Just saying.
I need it. I absolutely need it. And I got to tell our friends, you and I who have personalities who are so different.
So different.
So different. At the end of the day, you and I we parent a lot of the same ways. You and I do, but our personalities are different. While we have same mannerisms and same thoughts about things, the way you and I both express things is completely different.
Well, it's hysterical because we were at this event.
I don't know. My Siri decided that I said her name at some point. I don't know. It sucks.
So we were at this event and we're so honest with one another.
Yes.
People get taken aback by how honest we are. But that's our relationship.
I would die without you. Like, there are things like you and I were so punchy the first night that we decided to have a closed food fight. And when I say closed, it means the food was still in the packages and we were whipping things at each other.
I know, my kid was on the phone and had no idea if we liked each other or hated each other at that moment in time.
It is so funny. But we work and I'm okay with how we work, and you and I are different roles, different things we've done in life, different places in life. But it's just so amazing how the people in your tribe can't be you.
No. Oh, no.
Now, are there people in our region that have the same personality as me, close to certain things, right? There's some people who our energies align and all these things, but it's just, if you find, I guess my point is, if you find someone in your world who you're like, I have nothing in common with them, I encourage you to take that step forward, because at the end of the day, you and I have a ton in common. We just go about getting to things very differently, and I love it. I love it.
We've never upset each other, even as obnoxious as we can get towards one another. Like, it's never offensive. Like, and people look at us like, you're okay with what you just, there was nothing wrong with that. It's all good. I trust her. I like her. I know she likes me. We care about each other and we want to see each other succeed, and stupid stuff gets said. We call each other out on it.
Exactly. And I don't you talk to me. I think one of the things was, we were in the elevator and I looked at you and I said, don't you talk to me like that.
And the people around us just looked at it. I was like, it's okay. We like each other.
We like each other. But it's just refreshing. It's refreshing to be in a world where you've got people who are like-minded, even if the personalities differ. And I think a lot of that, you and I had so much leadership training this week, to the point of, like, I'm still trying to ingest and put into place what the one action item I'm going to take first. That's how much my brain hurts still. Like, everything was good, but you do. I'm glad you do.
Because
I need to.
Just saying.
Well, you are, but you know what it is? A lot of these things you've heard before in some of your classes where our roles differ, and I haven't. So for me, a lot of this stuff was brand new. And I got excited about a lot of things. I would look over at you across from the table. I'd be like, and you're like, calm down. But one of the things they talked a lot about was sometimes you're the leader and sometimes you have to follow the leader.
Right.
And they gave us this great image. And I know it's probably going to be hard to see because of.
You could do it in front of your face. Front of your face. There we go. Getting there. Anyway, it's a circle with a bunch of people. There we go. And the question was, who is the leader?
and there's no clear definition because it's these same two people all attached hand in hand the entire circle through. And that led us to a huge conversation about ego. And I know you and I have touched on ego a few times.
Yeah.
And I think it's such a powerful thing to talk about because in the beginning, when you come to this world, you can have confidence, but ego doesn't take place until you have many, many closings under your belt, right?
So we have this, and in the way they did it, it was me go and we go. And
Right.
it's such an important part of life because like yesterday morning, right after we recorded, and then I was like, I need to call you. So I picked up the phone, I called you and I said, hey, this person's doing this thing to this situation and I want to react this way and I'm going to do it. And you're like, why don't you take, right? That was my ego. It was all about
Right.
me at the moment in time. I still took action and I'm glad I did. However,
Kinder action than you were about to take.
here's the deal. There's like 17% of the population is a D personality, and that is a driven driver, get it done now and don't get in my way personality. And I promise you a good 85% of them are in the real estate industry.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very easy to be me-go all of the time with that personality and in this industry. And
Right.
so I did respond via email to the person who sent me the email, and I was pretty assertive D personality. And I took the next action of, hey, and I called the next person. I'm like, here's the situation. And this also goes to what we talked about, leadership and management, right? Because then I called this other person. I said, here's the deal. I don't do micromanagement. Like if you want to micromanage me, I will gladly step back and walk away because I give up a lot. And this is something that I'm doing, like it's a fundraiser. I'm giving my time, my energy. I'm putting
Right. This is a volunteer.
Right. And I'm putting a hold on certain business changes that I'm going to make because I won't be in this circle. So I'm very we-go when it comes to this thing, and it's not about me, and it's never been about me. And I have 3 great leaders, and for someone to come into the situation and like micromanage it, I was like, peace out, I'm out. And I called, and the person I called was like, you can't do that. I get it. I understand. You have to stay the court. I was like, all right, well, you fix it.
You know, and it's funny because after the page about ego, we go. So on our page, it says everyone has an ego, and we know that. Right. We all know what we're good at. Sometimes we are arrogant about it, and that's where ego takes over on some things. But it says the truth is everyone has an ego. The choice of what ego focus we choose is one of the most important decisions of our life. Then the next page talks about when you do everything yourself, you're a technician and a tasker.
Right.
When you succeed through others, that's when you become a leader. So one of the things, and I had said to you, because I'm calmer in this situation than you are, because I'm not the one who feels attacked or any emotion. And I get where you come from when you're working so hard and you're trying to pour into others, but that person is not ready for leadership on the other end of your situation. You took a leadership high road by asking for others' input on communication and how to go forward.
Yeah.
Right. Here's what we're doing. We're obviously not communicating the way this project needs or where everybody feels valued in their input.
Yeah.
So that was not an easy thing for you to do yesterday.
Oh, no.
Super proud of you.
Yeah. Here's the other part of it. The old Tiffany would be like, peace out, I'm dead, you're dead to me. Well, truth. I mean, really, I grew up in Jersey. That's how we roll, right?
Right.
New me was like, this is a situation. It needs to change for me to stay involved. I'm happy to step back and let somebody else take it if they're passionate about it. But it's just that it's the change of the way you handle things. And yeah, when I was thinking about, because I'm a processor and everything that I do in life goes through a filter after I do it to make sure that I was like, where could I have done it better? Where could I have done it differently? And I look at it and we look at Keller Williams, and there's people out there that say, oh, Keller Williams is a cult. And I'm like, no, Keller Williams teaches you how to think, And that is different. So like when you go out, and we have to intertwine with other companies, like this person is from another company and she's totally a management mindset. Whereas growing up through the KW ecosystem, we're a leadership mindset. And that was
We're
a part
servant
of it,
leaders.
right? That was part of it. What is a leader? What is it to be led? What is leadership? Like each one of those, they all have the same 4 letters in it, and yet they're all different.
Right. And one of the things they talk about, and I don't know if my answer would have been the same to you yesterday if I hadn't gone through this week of servant leadership education that we went through. And yes, leadership is teaching other people how to think. So you're working in a group, and somebody has to be the leader to teach them how to think like a team. So yesterday you took on true leadership, not just saying this person's dead to me and peace out. But I think about that all the time. You know, like when people talk to me about agents from other places and how difficult transactions are, and why would I ever want them to come here with how bad they are? My whole thing is, could you imagine how great they could be with a little bit of leadership that we got from day one, education, training, and support? Because the reason other agents are bad at their roles and not good at contracts or doing the things is because they don't have somebody supporting them.
Yep.
They're in a competition with everybody next to them. There is no helping you when you walk through the door. And it feels weird. As someone who came from competitive sales, I've been a salesperson my whole life in other companies, not real estate. And coming here and seeing camaraderie, I was like, but they're competing against each other, but they're stronger because they come back and help each other. Mind blown. That would have never, right?
It's competition. You have to cooperate, and there's competition in there.
It's incredible. It's incredible the things we do.
Yeah,
it's incredible.
I coach outside of KW a little bit, and there's times that I feel bad because part of being part of leadership is you can only share so much with the outside world. Like there's a non-disclosure. So there are times when I'm like, I just want to shake the person and say, it's so much easier than but they're not KW.
Or they're not ready to hear it. Okay, so we talked about needs a lot, right? People leave situations, people, and the worlds they live in because their needs are not being met. Whether they can articulate that or not, their needs are not being met. Mm-hmm. And everybody wants to be a part of a membership somewhere. Membership Economy is one of my favorite books on the planet. I've been trying to put together this class and get my thoughts out, and I don't like it, and I keep redlining so many things in it because it's almost too complex if you haven't read the book.
Right.
So I'm trying to bring it back down to in a way where it summarizes the book and shows people and amount of the classes. But people need a membership somewhere, whether it's creating friend groups, whether it's feeling like you're a part of something bigger. There's so many things that we do great, and membership is one of them here because let's think about the friend group I have through KW. It is very different than the friend group you have through KW, than our OPs, our TLs. Mm-hmm. That's my membership that I needed. And it's very evident when we go to these big KW events, how strong my membership economy is with these people.
Absolutely.
Right? Follow the nerds. Like they are unbreakable as a group of people. Like I cry leaving a work event, leaving my friends. That's how, like, I cried like a baby.
Well, and what's cool about it, we talk a lot about the introvert and the extrovert, right? I mean, just a screen, introvert, extrovert, like that's just how it is. And there's still a membership economy for you. There's still a tribe for you. There's still and it looks different from your group, looks different than my group looks different than yours, and so on through all of our regional connections. And that's okay. And nobody's.
But yet, how many people did I bring into our group that first night from all over? And I said, hang with the nerds. You'll learn something. You're going to laugh. You're going to have some fun tonight. And let's talk about this. You were mad that I was going to bed early. You were like, what do you?
I know. What was that all about?
I was exhausted from traveling.
Yeah, and
I was done. It wasn't about peopling. It was about the fact that I couldn't keep my eyes open. I could have people till 1 a.m. My body said something very different.
I'm very disappointed. We were in the middle of having a great time and hanging out, and I wasn't done, and we left.
You could have stayed.
I could have, but then my extrovert buddy wasn't there, so it just didn't work.
I know, but you had all my extrovert buddies there. It's not the same. So at the end of the day, I can't wait to share all the things we've learned with all the people we get to meet, because this is bigger than the group of people we have the chance and the ability to lead here at the region, or in all the things we do in our different worlds when it comes to KW. You know, I got excited at one point and I looked at you and I said, I can replace wherever it says leadership with technology in this book, and it's the same thing.
Yep.
So now I get to use words in a different way because we're pushing things out so different. And I have 200 pages of notes to go through. We have 200, like, how many pages? Yeah, with everything else, and the add-ons, they gave us 185 pages.
Yeah. You know, and if we wanted the world to be a better place, more companies like KW and GE, you know, these companies that feed into people, because this is where, and we have this conversation offline a lot, like profit is important and profit is what drives a business. The people.
So true.
If you don't take care of people, profit is just greed in my eyes.
It is, and it is very evident from the people around you. You know, Gary Keller gave us so much stuff in this book, how to talk about goals, achievements, a lot of different things. And becoming a leader, can you be taught things as a leader? Yes, but I truly feel that people are born with this desire to lead. How I never understood it growing up. I never understood it when I first got into roles, and I've always wanted to energize and teach the people around me what makes things. Some things come to you easy, some things come to me easy, and when I excel at them and I get excited, I want to show the people around me how they can be energized. Didn't ever realize until coming to KW that that's leadership, is when you can energize people around you and get them to think like differently. This is such a good place to be. I am hoping and praying, and I'm asking already, that they bring this servant leadership class to the public, because everyone in a leadership role deserves this. Because it is not just this is not what we did this week was not about real estate. It was about people.
Honestly, we didn't really talk about real estate. Maybe 20% of the conversation was about real estate.
I don't think it was even there. I think, you know, when we talked real estate, it was about helping our market centers bring leads. It wasn't even about the selling, buying houses. It was so incredible. It was about inspiring trust and building confidence in others. And I can't wait for this to be able to come to the masses and be able to send my friends who are in leadership roles in other places to a class like this. I think people's worlds would change if they were able to take a class called Servant Productivity Leadership.
What would it look like if and not to get political, and yet what would it look like if the government ran classes the way KW did?
I want to take one step even back on that one. What would it look like if we taught our children this in the schools?
Well, I am teaching my children.
I am too, but what if this was how it started?
Well, there is quantum leap.
There is quantum leap, but I want to go further back than that. You know, I'm raising little leaders, and I've always known my kids were leaders in their world, and they've proven it. They're learning and growing and stretching in those roles, right? Learning what it is to manage versus lead. The oldest one, some days, you know, I was sending him screenshots from the binder, and he's like, "Hey, can I have a copy of that?"
say yes. Yes, you can.
I was like, yep, I will give you a printed version of this in a binder ready to go. I said I'm going to keep the real estate stuff in because I think it's important for you to see how the 7 levels of a market center happen. Because he supported this world, so he understands KW.
Yep.
Before he took his manager role. But yeah, this is
Well,
good
that's the
stuff.
point. Like if we just put into school what it looks like to manage your money,
Mhm.
what it looks like to be a we go instead of a me go, and how to grow your mind so that the world's a better place and you can support more people.
Right.
Because and I'm drawing a blank, but the wisdom, right? Help me out, because we had this conversation around there's wisdom and then there's knowledge or what you learn. Like wisdom's internal, right?
Right.
What you teach me, right? If I don't have that wisdom to take the action on what you teach me, so you can't really correct wisdom, but you could guide it in a really, really great way.
Can. And what's even better is we will never say, no, you took that class already, you can't do it again, because you may have the knowledge, but you may not have the life experience to use the wisdom to pull it into what matters. That is why when people say, I went to Bold when I first got here and it didn't make sense, great, you're in a different place in your life now. There's never a reason to not take things over and over, because you will get a different lesson and hear something different every single time. I wish we had that autonomy as children. I am very open about my learning disability growing up and the classes I didn't get to take because I was bad at one small thing. And if I'd had the ability to retake classes over and over until I got things, my education trajectory may have been a little different. Who knows? But keep digging in, keep listening, keep showing up.
Yep.
And get a coach.
Yeah.
Got to have a coach.
And what you hear today will be what you hear today and what you learn from it today will look completely different because of this statement of you never enter a river the same way twice, right? Because the river is different and you're different because it's constantly moving.
Yep.
All right, my friend. I will talk to
You
on
have
Monday.
a fabulous. We'll see our friends on Monday.
Ah.
Bye.